Earlier, just now in a narrow format, we conducted an in-depth and very substantive exchange of views on the main directions of the development of the comprehensive Russian-Chinese partnership and strategic interaction. We outlined plans both for further joint work for the future. It is important that Mr. Chairman and I share the assessment of the significant progress achieved over the past years across the entire spectrum of bilateral relations. They are certainly a model of interstate communication in the 21st century, built on the principles of equality, mutual benefit, and respect for each other's sovereignty interests, and are not directed against anyone. The governments of our countries are working effectively. Systematic measures are being taken that will allow us to increase the level of financial and technical independence of our interaction, as mentioned. Last year, mutual trade turnover reached a new record. Of course, it is $244.9 billion. Of course, this is far from the limit, and the daily work to maintain positive trade dynamics and implement large-scale joint projects continues. The portfolio of the Investment Intergovernmental Commission already includes 86 projects worth more than $200 billion. Today we will be signing an updated intergovernmental agreement on the promotion and mutual protection of investments, which I am sure will have a positive impact on creating a more favorable business environment and will give a significant boost to the development of our economic cooperation. The driving force of our relations is energy. Last year, Russia not only led in oil exports to India, China, but also took first place in pipeline gas supplies. Additionally, we are second in coal shipments to China and third in liquefied natural gas exports. Russia has become the main importer of Chinese cars in the world. At the same time, we welcome the establishment of manufacturing and the transfer of Chinese industrial expertise to our country. Significant mutual supplies of agricultural products, have become an important factor in maintaining food security, for both countries. For our part, we are ready to expand the range of exports from the Russian agro-industrial complex to the Chinese market. In 2024, the volume of bilateral foreign trade, cargo transportation through border crossings and seaports of Russia and China increased by 9% to almost 176 million tons. We intend to further modernize the transport infrastructure and transition border checkpoints to around-the-clock operating mode. China is a crucial partner for many Russian regions, especially for the Far East. Chinese economic operators are involved in 63 projects in the advanced development territories and the free port of Vladivostok. For our part, we intend to continue creating comfortable conditions for the activities of Chinese companies in Russia. Humanitarian cooperation is actively developing, and joint film production is being established. My friend, Mr. Chairman, and I talked about this in Kazan, and the work is underway. I would like to note this with pleasure. In February of this year, the Russian-Chinese film Red Silk was released in Russian domestic distribution, and its premiere was quite successful. I am convinced that we have many joint films ahead of us, which will be received with great interest both in Russia and in China. The main outcome, the final document, will be a joint statement at the highest level, the leitmotif of which is the 80th anniversary of the Great Victory and the living connection of times. Moreover, not only in terms of historical memory and patriotic education of the youth, but also in the context of countering attempts to revive Nazism and militarism, and to revise the outcomes of the Second World War. In the context of a complex geopolitical situation and global uncertainty, the Russian-Chinese foreign policy partnership is a crucial stabilizing factor on the international stage. Together, we advocate for the formation of a more just and democratic multipolar world order based on international law and the central role of the UN in global affairs.
Thank you very much indeed, President Putin. I am pleased to visit Russia again, invited by President Putin on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, the Soviet Union's Great Patriotic War, and the World Anti-Fascist War. Over 80 years ago, the peoples of China and Russia fought side by side on the main battlefields in Asia and Europe, jointly defending world peace and justice, composing a magnificent and heroic epic. 80 years of trials and tribulations have passed, and the friendship between China and Russia, forged in blood and fire, has been passed down through generations. In recent years, with joint efforts from both sides, China-Russia relations have maintained a stable, healthy, and high-level development trend. Long-term good neighborliness, mutual benefit, and win-win cooperation are key to the relationship between the two countries. Both sides, based on the unprecedented changes in the world over the past century, continue to deepen political mutual trust and strategic cooperation, maintaining close coordination and collaboration in international affairs, injecting valuable stability and positive energy into the complex international situation. For many years, China has been a major contributor and stabilizer of global economic growth, and is comprehensively advancing the construction of a strong nation and the great cause of national rejuvenation through Chinese-style modernization. China and Russia are both major world powers and permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. China is willing to join Russia in shouldering the special responsibilities bestowed by the times, steadfastly deepening strategic cooperation, jointly promoting a multipolar world that is equal and orderly, and an economic globalization that is inclusive and beneficial to all. This includes safeguarding the global multilateral trade system and ensuring the stability and smooth operation of industrial and supply chains, thereby making greater contributions to the development and rejuvenation of both countries, and upholding international fairness and justice. Dear President,